What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content now every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning. So my little summer vacation is over now. It is back to the grind, and I'm very excited to cover what is probably a rather large update here today with the reward cards. Now, keep in mind, this does not have any information on the new reward cards. I think we'll be getting some of that as we get closer to the August 15th release date, but we do have a lot of details about new abilities, as well as the unlock cost, the timing for all of that. So let's dive into this post in all of its glory. I will try not to read everything to you and just really cover the main topics here. So as you can see at the start of the season, August 15th, this will be on Thursday, so not the usual Tuesdays, but then you'll also be able to unbind the old Chaos Legion Soulbound reward cards, and we have some more details on how that will all work. So again, stay tuned. I'll try to keep this video not too long. All right, so Rebellion reward cards is going to have the same size as the Chaos Legions: 12 commons, 12 rares, 7 epics, 12 legendaries. On top of that, it comes with 4 new abilities to shake up the meta. So let's check them out. Mimic is the first one. So at the beginning of round 2 and each following round, gain a random ability from the enemy team. All right, so if you thought Scattershot was crazy, this is going to be absolutely nuts. 25% chance to gain a random ability from an attacker when hit. So those are two different things, right? So there's a chance to gain a random ability from a team at the end of a round, and then also 25% to gain a random ability from an attacker when hit. Dispel removes one mimicked ability in the order that they were gained. So debilitations, targeting abilities, ambush, weapons training, flank, recharge, taunt cannot be mimicked. So that's what it is. Corrupted healing. Here's another fun one. Each round, restore 1/3 of the max health. So essentially like heal all of your team rounded down. Each time a unit is healed, its max health is reduced by 1. So you get to heal your entire team, but if they do get healed, they also get crippled. That's going to be really fun. And I mean, I don't know how many cards are going to have this, but wherever it is, I think that's going to become an interesting part of the meta, especially for maybe poison rule sets. I don't know. Could be interesting. Okay, execute. If a target has 2 or less health after a successful attack, perform another attack against the same unit. This is beautiful to me, because how many times have you like hit someone and there's just like 1 health left and you're like, oh, if only like somebody previously hadn't missed, or if something, whatever, and it's just like the RNG didn't go your way. Well, now this will help you. If you attack them and they only got 2 or less health, you can do another one. Again, I don't know how many cards are going to have this ability, but I do like execute, and I hope to see it around quite a bit. Wing break always targets enemy units with flying first, regardless of abilities or rule sets, +2 damage if the target has flying. So this is another interesting one for maybe, I guess we'll call it, it's definitely anti-dragon in many ways, but it's also I wouldn't say anti, but it's a good card against the Earthquake rule set if you think you're going to see a lot of flying units there. Again, keep in mind, these are abilities, so they're not going to be coming on any summoners. They won't be given to your entire team, but this is fascinating. Now, what if the team has multiple units with flying? Does it just attack in the order? That would be my guess, but maybe that's something we can ask at a future town hall. Actually, the cards are going to be out before the future town hall, so maybe we can get an answer in the town hall chat or somewhere. Somebody go ask the question for me, please. All right, so with Rebellion reward cards, we're also introducing debilitation. So I don't know that these seem like abilities as well, even though they're not called that. They're called debilitations. So let's actually dive in. There's going to be 7 total, right, of these new, we'll call them meta shifts, four abilities, as well as these 3 debilitations. So Incendiary reapplies burning at the end of each round. Burning has a 33% chance to spread to adjacent units at the beginning of each round. Then all burning units lose 2 health. Burning can be cleansed. So this is probably going to come through on some OP unit that is just going to be burning through his own team by, having a 33% chance of setting them on fire every turn. So I'm excited to see how that that plays into the meta. Like this could go one of two ways, right? Either it's an awesome card and everybody has to use it even though it's lighting your own team on fire, or it just becomes one of those things where it's like, yeah, it sounds cool like recharge, but actually in practice it kind of sucks. So again, I think it all depends on the card that it is attached to, or cards that it ends up being attached to. All right, and then Electrify deals 1 damage to all allied units at the beginning of each round. Okay, I think I'm noticing a pattern here because, again, this has to be OP for you to be able to allow yourself to deal 1 damage to all the allied units. Now, again, I don't know what kind of unit this will be, but if it's something where it's a solo unit, or maybe you only have martyrs on your team, that could be fun and interesting. But definitely want to see what the stats look like on a card that has that debilitation. And I guess we have to distinguish now between abilities and debilitations. I don't know if they're going to have something in the mix for that. I guess if they're all red. All right, and then last one, Weary. Each round, weary units have a 10% chance to become exhausted. This chance increases by 10% every round, up to a maximum of 80%. Exhausted units skip their turn and cannot retaliate. Whoa, this is interesting. Okay, so what happens if they attack, or if they skip their turn? Does it go back to 0 is my question. Again, maybe this is that would be my guess, but these all just need to be on pretty OP units if we're going to be skipping turns here. I mean, essentially it becomes a miss, right? So I guess my units skip turns all the time, even if I don't want them to, even if they're not required to. Sometimes they just suck. But Weary's got to be an interesting one. So all in all, I got to say, abilities sound pretty cool, as well as the debilitations. Again, this is all going to depend on the rest of the context, right? What is the type of card that these are attached to? But I think they will shake up the meta quite a bit, and I'm very excited for them. Okay, so initially, Rebellion Reward cards will be soulbound. They can't be bought, sold, rented. Okay, so cool. All right, unbinding reward cards. So when Rebellion Reward cards are released on August 15th, you'll be able to unbind your Chaos Legion soulbound reward cards. Once unbound, these cards can be bought, sold, and traded. Now, here's the schedule for this. For the first 29 days, it will cost 10x a card's power per BCX in DEC. I'm not seeing vouchers anywhere, which is fantastic. Let's burn that DEC. All right, so for example, 29 days max level regular foil Drybone Raider will cost 55,000 DEC to unbind. Because the cost to unbind cards is based on power per BCX, you are not penalized when you unbind max level cards, which receive a power bonus. Now that's interesting. Okay, so there's going to be a power bonus. I thought this said over level cards, but it's just max level cards. All right. So additionally, it will not cost more to unbind cards over the max. Oh, so okay, it was literally on the next one. In other words, it will cost the same to unbind a regular foil Drybone Raider with 11 BCX as one with 12 or more BCX. Okay. So this is interesting because I on my first read I was thinking this, but now on the second read, it's definitely something I'm thinking about, because what if you just over combine your cards? You pay, let's say you have, let's say you go crazy with it, right? And you have 12 BCX of like a card, and you could unbind it by paying for 11 BCX, but then can you burn it and then get 12 BCX worth of DEC? Because that's like a cheat code, and that is definitely an exploit. But I don't know. That was my first thought. That was my thought when I first read through it, and I didn't read anything different this time. So single BCX. Okay. All right. So they just go through this. Additionally, okay. So let's go into the timing. Additionally, every 30 days, the price to unbind will increase by a multiple of 1. So it's going to go from 10x all the way to 15x. And you can see here, think of it instead of days, months, right? So, or the first month, it's going to be 10x, second, 11, 12, 13, 14, all the way until we get to the 6th and final month, right? 15 times the card powers DEC cards power in DEC. And then after 180 days, Chaos Legion reward cards will no longer be unbindable and will be permanently soulbound. Love that. Okay, so this puts us in February of next year, probably like mid-February around. So that could be an interesting time, because especially if we're already in the talks, I mean, Rebellion will be out of print or burned out by that time. And if we're already starting to talk about the next pack set, that could be interesting. All right, so rather than flooding the market with a deluge of cheap reward cards, these unbinding costs are comparable to the current market value. We feel this pricing model. Okay, yeah, we've talked about that at length. I know a lot of people may disagree with that, and rightfully so. I respect your opinion, but I'm going to side with this argument here. We just don't want to see cheap cards coming on the marketplace. I know the game is expensive to play, but you know what? Making it cheaper hasn't been the answer either. So I would rather the cards preserve their value and not be things that are going to, be things that will hopefully burn a significant amount of DEC. All right, combining and burning. All right, so here's some specifics on this, and we'll get to the end, and I'll give my final thoughts. If an unbound card is combined with a soulbound card, the new card will be soulbound. So to unbind it, you will need to pay the remainder of unbinding fee. For example, if you combine 3 of a gold foil legendary, right, 3 unbound BCX with a soulbound, the new card will be soulbound, and you'll still need to pay for the 1 BCX worth. So soulbound cards are burned for glint, while unbound cards can be burned for DEC. So you see what I'm saying here about that exploit from earlier? I just need to know how they're planning to do this, and I hope that they've thought that through. The Rebellion Reward cards are an exciting new expansion that introduces whole new levels of strategy and depths of Lord of Splinterlands. We can't wait. Okay, so yada, yada, yada. All good stuff here. Very, very excited for this. In my opinion, I think that this is going to be a fun shift, at least for the game and the gamers out there. I know the market is so red today. I'm recording this on Friday, August 2nd. So yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's back down to 60K. The market just is completely red, right? The stock market is completely red, at least here in the US. So it's, from an economic standpoint, we're just going to put that on hold. The bull run hopefully will be coming at some point in the next 12 months. But for now, there is an exciting card game to play called Splinterlands that has some new stuff coming out very soon. I can't wait to dive into the cards, but the abilities, the unlocking should be good. And hey, you know what? At this time, if it makes sense, especially with DEC being lower, I do hope we see a significant amount of DEC burned for the unbinding of cards. Again, I don't know what that's going to look like. I still need a lot of, especially like the legendary and epic cards, but we'll have to wait and see how that works out. That is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.